Hello, Alex Han Solo here, doing the morning recap for Sunday, October 3rd. I called Bitcoin 50,000 last night for basically the next target. Still on track for that, been hovering around the same zone, following that triangle pattern on this 4-wave as was kind of anticipated, and we should be able to at least hit this dotted line around 49, and hopefully we retest this fib line up here around 50. That would be the ideal scenario, and that's on the 4-hour. We got our overbought above 70 RSI here, and we got our squeeze momentum, 2-hour dropping or 4-hour dropping. Let's see how our shorter term time frames are looking. Hopefully we skip a red here. Looks like the red's not really getting anywhere, so that's nice. Now we're going to the 1-hour and going to the green. It has a nice ramp up speed going on here. Probably should take a look at ADX to make sure that momentum's momentum's increasing. So it looks like, during the sell-off phase, momentum has been decreasing rather than increasing, which is great. So momentum should really start turning over and increasing with this buy phase here in a bit. And if we bring on a different ADX indicator, we should be able to see the swapping of sells to buys. And we're already beginning to see greens and red being closer together rather than one being dominant. And this ADX is fairly bottomed. This is a really bottom ADX right around the 22nd. And that last time ADX was this low, what happened next? Bitcoin went from 41 to 46. The other time it was that low was the 17th, and that's when it dropped with that increase in momentum. So depending on where we are on the chart, if we're high, momentum's low, we should correct down. If we take that same logic, technically we should correct down, but really we're seeing momentum drops with these sells. You've got to kind of look at everything. We do see lots of bullish divergence going on here. It drops, but on the 1-hour we got a nice strong bullish divergence here on Bitcoin. It's a nice long time frame to have that over. It's a 2-week period. Might we see some bullish divergence on some 4 hours. And yeah, you still see this one right here. We draw another one if we want. But I don't want to clutter it up, so we'll just leave that there. And now, on these lower time frames, we really are. Let's see. So here we do see momentum increasing with the buy. So this was a little harder to interpret compared to just like a simple ADX one, or average directional index. So I'm not going to worry too much about this here right now. What else can kind of give me some perspective? MACD leader. This will tell me when MACD turns over. And yeah, we're at some higher highs there. We're above the 0 point, or like right at it, but above it. So we've already retested it twice now, that level. So that's pretty handy. We go to the daily just to make sure we're not being blind to anything. What do we got going on here? Alright, so we do have some of these targets up here in this 52 range. We did hit the top of this channel of the halfway point and are retesting this midpoint, so as long as we stay bullish, we should be able to pass it. You know, how long does it take to pass the midpoint of that channel, or how long does it take to drop it? 3-4 days drop, you know, and then 4 days of trying to pass and drop. So we just kind of touched it. We're not going to just turn around, go straight down. We're going to try to touch this line a couple more days, I think, here, at least. And so that'll give us a few chances to get out if we're not able to pass it, pending nothing crazy happens. Again, not an advisor here, but I did draw this scribble, so the higher we go, the higher we'll follow this pattern above the scribble. So I imagine the scribble possibly moving up a tad. Probably more like this now. So that would be in line with kind of a four-wave triangle pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, A, B, C. So double correction there. Let's do this again. So we got the double, triple correction, whatever's going on there. 1, 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, single correction, double correction, A, B, C, diagonal, or zigzag, A, B, C correction, now to the 1, 2, 3, yeah. Four, 5. That wouldn't be good. Am I crazy? I do have this bearish red line path down here, and this bullish green path. So if I turn off some of these indicators so we can see these patterns, let's just kind of see what's really kind of on the menu, because we might have a few really crazy spikes, and it might happen really fast, and then we might slowly bleed down to like 35, like in December, because when I draw, I think both things kind of happen, so it'll probably get to this range at some point, but we got this target. It seems pretty possible, and if we hit it, we can probably stop here at the retest around 50 and go to 84 by April or May. That's really what we want to see here. So, in the book I've been really kind of studying a lot. They say we feel the most bearish on wave 2, right? So if this is kind of like, at least a double, triple correction where some of those corrections turn into like triangles or zigzags, that's kind of what you see there. And really, we kind of see this wave up after the correction's done correcting on a flat. So we got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really, honestly, this is an ABC, so I would actually count it 1, 2, 3, because this is just an ABC in the middle of that, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 within the 3, right? So 1, 2, 3, and then we just got another ABC, which is fine. It can happen on the 5 especially, on the 4 you got that triangle pattern. That's totally normal. It's a usual occurrence, and goes into the 5. So you got and that's the first wave, really. That would be the completion of the first wave, and in the bull phase you can have 3 of those. So if this is truly the bull phase turning on, these should be good to go. And again, you feel the most bearish on this 2 wave, and so I am leaning like 75% towards this green line, 25% towards this red line, basically. And I don't imagine us going towards that red line until about mid-November, after we kind of peak and people will see the top. And I think that's enough on Bitcoin. Let's just look at Ethereum real quick. So we got our 5, our A, B, C double correction, and now this is another correction with bullish pressure potentially, which would mean it would go down afterwards as opposed to continuing up after the first correction, I'm assuming. Just trying to learn this kind of as I go. Now, I did say we would touch this point again, and we did. Now I need to decide, should we be getting out a little bit to get ready for a dip? Sunday could be dump day. What I would be watching is, so once I start seeing us kind of follow this path down and stop dropping some fib levels, that's where I think we'll be getting close to pulling out maybe 10 to 20% for a dip buy. Anything more than that's pretty risky. So not really destroying this floor here. I'm just trying to work its way up. So if we bounce off this, you know, that would be kind of an anomaly if this is the 5 wave, unless we're seeing like a double correction, but that's kind of small for a double correction on a wave of this size, if this would be that first wave. 32 would be a nice retrace for a correction, basically. But unless we're super bullish, yeah, we might stay above that a little bit. You know, it's almost 10% drop if it hits 35. That's a decent enough drop to pull out 10 to 20%, basically. We really ate up all this volume once, kind of, in a half. So, you know, I see us maybe dropping 32 a little bit, not too much. And this is kind of a waiting game at this point. Hopefully you're pretty into the market by now and not needing to add in right now, because these are the times where it's nice to have a cushion and you're able to go down 3 or 4% before you need to, you know, consider selling or waiting, you know, deciding if you can bear 5–10% drops or you can just add in at that point. Because timing the drops is also risky, so you can't just assume that you're going to be able to catch the bottom there when you sell. You know, we really went off this M bump, so or this bump, so I'm really not looking at this line anymore. This black line is the most recent one I drew, so it's kind of the adjustment there with this floor rise. BTC dominance, we're hoping this will be just like above 50 for Bitcoin, which with the last spike it really jumped up quite significantly. Again, we're above this floor here. It's an important floor. You know, we could potentially count this as the 3 and this is the 4 because this is starting to look like a triangle more than a correction. And so if that was the case, we'd have like 1, 2, 3, and then this would be 4, so we could have another 5. Now, could that be the case? Let's kind of see, right? So we got the 1, 2, and so we got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So that 3 wave. Oh, let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be like 1, 2. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. So if we have, so this is the grand super cycle, right? And so where the grand would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 up here, hopefully around above, to 2.42. We haven't hit 2.42. That was a call I made a little bit ago. We did kind of get close to that, I think, some point here, beginning of September, but that's really where we want to get back to, 2.42 right up here. And if this was the 3, 4, 5, we'll probably touch 2.3 on the 5. If we're pretty bullish, which is feeling like we are. Sunday bullish continuation on a Saturday means Monday will probably be bullish, and so 2 more days can get us here, and Tuesday is kind of the bearish drop. So let's draw this here. Let's kind of make sure we're not crazy. Essentially, this is what I'm saying, and then we'll confirm it with the 5 wave on the 3. And now the net of 1 and 3, between 1 and, oh man, that's probably about, I'm just going to draw it here, even though it's a little far. It's a little far for what I think it'll be, but I'll just put it there. Now, actually, let's just move it like right here. Why not? And then maybe we'll kind of get up there after a sideways correction. And then this would be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to maybe 3 trillion. That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty sweet. But to be that, we'd have to kind of see this kind of work out. And so, a 2 could be a triangle, so that's fine. And then, so if this 3 was here, we'd have to count this as 3 and this 4. And if 2 is a triangle, 4 is less likely to be a triangle, which that's kind of what we're seeing here. So it's kind of a confirmation. And now, because we see that 5 here, and we basically got a single correction and this, or double correction with a zigzag here, because of the bullish pressure, which it'll probably just continue up, even though it's a double correction, as far as what it looks like. Now, I think that's good on Ethereum. But just make sure that's what we think is happening with Ethereum dominance. So that's on the 1 hour. We are below this line. That is kind of a challenge. I don't like to say we're not dropping these flat channels when we're pretty close to them under a floor like this. We do got that down signal. What usually happens on the 30-minute. I like this down signal on the daily. Let's see if we got a down signal on the daily. We got an up signal on the daily. So I probably wouldn't worry about selling right now. So on the up signal, you got at least 2-3 days after that. At least 1. On the down signal, same thing, a couple days. Here you had a nice advance notice. But I think we've already tested this once. Now the second time, for us to have to test it a third time, we'd have to drop Ethereum dominance to really bullish range. What do we got going here? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. A, B, C. Hopefully a bullish correction as a zigzag. Now, plus we got this Gartley here, so I do see that breakout that we've retested here and broke out of. So I really just want to see us get to 20% as fast as possible. And with that being the case, can we get to 16% in the short term? I really hope not. I really don't think so. First attempt, second bounce, third bounce. Really, so this would be after this bounce, slightly down. We'd have third attempt at this channel on the 15-minute. I don't know how long you have to be in a 15-minute channel to break out of it. Maybe more than that, but second attempt on this channel. 1, 2, 4, 5. That'd be a long 2. I don't think that's really 2 necessarily. Probably correction, and then like a second triangular correction or something. So this could be like a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like a double correction, and then 1, 2. And if this is the one, then 3, 4, 5, easily to 20%, I imagine. I'm just going to draw that just because I kind of want to keep my thoughts together. You know, if we drop this, oh, that would not be fun. So we're going to kind of do something like that. Now, if we do drop this, that would almost nullify that would just be like a triple correction then. And that would be a flat correction on a retest here, which I'd rather retest this right now than later, honestly. So I'll kind of just drag a little tiny target here just to remind me that we might go there. But this is a really huge 30-minute total cap spike and retest. So retest 2 again. We haven't really retested that. And if this is the 4 and it kind of, yeah, I'm going to move this one up. For now. You know, we've already kind of done our time in this channel, I guess, maybe? No? Or maybe not. Maybe we haven't done our time in this channel. So, you know, 1.95 wouldn't be bad. I'll actually undo that. I'll just leave it there. And USDT got bullish, dropped down in a down channel on the 30. And we still got this, you know, it's right at that level where it might be turning back up to bearish territory, which I'm going to not worry about that too much right now. Let's see how our alts are doing. This has exploded again very nicely. Ish. We do have the down 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this one's a little funny to try to read for now. Ooh, Link's looking good. Got a 10% on that. XTZ, wow, that one's looking good. Another 10, 15% on that overnight. CTF just kind of sitting there. Comp, this is where I said I'd add in 330. So, and here's that 4 retesting at that same level. Yeah, I think we're going to do an add-in on comp today. Storage is still going up. So, yeah, it's looking fine. Not too, doesn't feel like we're going to drop a huge amount, like very soon at least. But again, not advisor. Set some stop losses, but you know, I kind of aim for like 5-10% before I consider selling 20 to 30% if I'm a little late on the sell. Otherwise, I would try to sell within 10% of the top and be happy with that. And again, selling 10 to 20%. But I kind of missed the boat, and I think we're going to drop 20 to 30%. I'd be willing to sell 20 to 30% after already being down 10% anyway. Kind of figure out what works for you. I think that's it for today, guys. Again, Bitcoin 50 still the target for now. Ethereum 3,500, which, you know, tweeted that yesterday that we'd be going to 35. I deleted that tweet just because we kind of already hit it, and I just felt like that wasn't really a worthy thing to say, like, oh, we're going to 35. Well, yeah, we were there a day ago, so maybe it was helpful for some people. But as a top especially, I did say we'd be kind of getting out here, assuming this is the ABC correction on the B. So, but the B only retraces 90% to A, which would be that much. That'd be 30, that'd be $100 down on Ethereum. So like 4%, or what? I don't know. 10% would be 400. So yeah, like 3%, 2.5%. That wouldn't be terrible. It's not really worth like, oh no, sell 10 to 20%. So I kind of want to see if we're getting ready to drop this, and really, it's at that point, if I'm within 150 of 3,200, that's where I might try to sell. So if I see us kind of dropping this channel a bit more in this way where the volume's looking pretty bad, like this doesn't look bad on the 30-minute, we don't see huge floors disappearing right here. We've got a bigger floor right here than right here. So again, just going to kind of hold through, maybe setting a stop loss at 33.50 if we're on our way to 3,200. It's kind of what I'd be thinking, but anyway, good luck, guys.